Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyama Devaah. Bhadram Pasyema Akshabhiryajatraah. Sthirairangaihi Tushtuvagum Sastanubhihi. Vyasema Devahitam Yadayuhu. Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaah. Swasti nः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्ददातु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ अग्ने नय सुपथाराये अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्यस्मज्जुहुराणमेनो भूयिष्ठां ते नमभुक्तिं विधेम ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ आब्रह्मन् ब्राह्मणो ब्रह्मवर्चसि जायतामाराष्ट्रैराजन्यशूरैषव्यो अतिव्याधी महारथो जायतां दुग्ध्रीधेनुः ओढानड्वाना सुसप्तिः पुरन्धिर्योषा जिष्णुरथेष्ठा सभेयो युवा अस्य यजमानस्य वीरो जायतां निकामे निकामे न पर्जन्यो वर्षतु फलवत्यो न ओषधयः पच्यन्तां योगक्षेमो नः कल्पेताम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमिथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्यां मा ब्रह्म निराकरोतु अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्माः ते मयि सन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. So the wonderful Thursday dawned when we have dedicated this morning session or evening session to Yajurveda, because Rigvedotha Yajurveda Samavedo hi Atharvanaha Angaischa Sahitas Sarve Kalasembu Samasritaha. Every day when we do puja, we say Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda. So Yajurveda occupies in later times the second place of importance, not importance, but placement, second placement among the four Vedas. Even we don't know when that Yajurveda took the second stage or second position, but we know that it was all, first of all, Rigveda, then Samaveda, then Yajurveda and other Vedas. You see, when I just thought after Rigveda, when I conducted workshop in Ragigudda Anjaneya Swami Temple, Kuchala Rangamandira auditorium, at that time my professor, Dr. Kashikar, was there. And I told him, sir, Yajurveda workshop I'm doing. What? Rigveda, Samveda, Yajurveda, is it not? Then I told him, sir, this is the order of it. Then okay, because this is also, Yajurveda is important. Because Yaju is the practical manual. Yajurveda is the practical manual, rather the laboratory manual for all the priests and also the Kshatriyas and people, wherewith they will be able to, wherewith we have got, wherein we have got the formulas and with which we are able to rise up We are able to rise up and reach the gods, please the gods, and get our wants fulfilled. So you observe, our wants will be fulfilled. And we are just, because after being born on the land, we have been provided wonderful body with respective limbs in order, and we have to thank the Parameswara to have provided us wonderful parents, and they only responsible for giving us the body, because we are all wonderful souls floating in the air to find parents to be born. And having been born, it is our first duty to conduct very well, improve the character or stabilize the character, good character, and see that we are getting the friendship of the gods. Secondly, we are able to please the gods. So, and moreover, we make a request to the gods that let their riches, let their mahima, let their ಪರೋಪಕಾರ ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ life upon the earth must be flowing towards them. ದೇವಾನಾಂ ರಾತಿಹಿ ರುಜುಯತಾಂ ದೇವಾಃ ಸುಮನಸಃ. In Rigveda itself, we have got the sukta, something like Swastino Vibhitam or Aisha Sukta or some such suktas, wherein we have been given the impression that the God and man, they are almost juxtaposed. The man shall become a God, God shall be descend to be a man, and therefore there is always the interflow of activity, connectivity, cooperative thing between God and man. So in order to link up like that, we have been introduced by by gods, and Srishis promoting it and promulgating that and continuing that. We have the yajnas, various yajnas are there, and various optional rites are there, kamyastis are there. After these yajnas and kamyastis and all that, we have got vratas, which are introduced in the Puranas. For example, in Bhagavatam, we have got Katyayani Vratam introduced even when Krishna was living. And like that, so Satyanarayana Vratam, Katyayani Vratam, and then we have got so many vratas. So Narasimha Swami is also being worshipped like that. So all these kind of yajnas or yagas or vratas or homas and all these are a kind of discipline for the regularization of the human conduct and behavior and elevation. If you do not give importance to these, then we will become lazy, moodhaha. And if we don't honor them, we are just not jnanis. So why yajna is important is also an interesting point. So yajno vai Vishnuhu, we say yagnameva varundhe. So yajna is Vishnu Swarupam. And anything that you do goes to Vishnu. Vishnu is, of course, combined with the Shiva. So asivam yagnam na kartum sakyate. Avishnum yagnam kartum na sakyate. So all these people are there. Brahma is there. And so we are now in Taittiriya Samhita at the first kanda and third prapataka, where we have got several mantras connected to Soma Yaga, Agnishtoma they call it. So after Darsapurnamasa Yagna and after Agnihotram, we have got the Soma Yaga. There are 4 chapters in Sukla Yajurveda from 4th to 8th. So in these chapters, we have got plenty of formulas which have got knowledge, which have got the prayoga, and moreover, the Samhita text itself has got some kind of procedure in respect of conducting a sacrifice. That's exactly what my professor, Dr. N.J. Shende, has urged me. Prabhakar, you find out what is the procedure that is being marked out in the Vedic Samhitas, when in the Yajurveda, when the formulas are given. And later on, we have got Brahmanas and Sutras and all that literature, Vedic texts are there, which will add the procedures and increase and then so many things. Because the wants are not at all stable in all, wants and desires are not stable in all people, at all places, at all times. So there is a lot of variation. That's exactly what is, but that variation should not be given much importance. And therefore, in our Veda Adhyayana Kendra prayer, the second, third mantra is A Brahman Brahmano Brahmavarchasi Jayata. The four caste people must be adopting to their own dharma, must be enhancing the order, social order and cosmic order by virtue of the performance of the performance through the cooperation of Brahma and Kshatriya. When Brahma, that is priesthood, Kshatriya, that is the royalty or the sacrificers or the sponsors, well, they are in cooperation, things will happen like that. So now we have come to, in the Agnishtoma Yajna, the whole procedure will go that we have to prepare the yajna, prepare the ground well, and see that all the preoccupying, unwanted, evil, and disturbing visible and invisible creatures are being driven away. Then Suddhi of the Yagashala and the Yajna Bhumi, then done. And then we have got to think of bricks and being and preparing the Vedi, Yajna Vedi. And when all preparation is done, you have got to purchase the Soma Valli and Soma leaves, carts, loads of them. And by what is the price that you pay? You have to pay a large number of cows. Cow is the pecuniary standard with which you are able to have the barter or the trade going on. So the vendor will cultivate a lot of Soma twigs and then he will sell that and the carts, loads of them. So every act that you are doing in this sacrifice is highly symbolic, ceremonial, and reverential also, because you have to revere. And with that kind of sacred, elevated, cultured mind, you bring the Somavalli, and then you try to wash and then prepare Somarasam, and there is a procedure. Afterwards, when your material is there, sacrifice, the sambharas are all kept ready, then you have got to think of fixing a yupa. I'm just trying to revise you what we have been doing. To Upasthapanam is one, that is, you have to install a sacrificial post, which is something like now as the Dhvajastambham in temples. So temples are the Dhvajastambhas are the victory stands. Rather, from up to then, there will be the magnetic power of the deity installed in the sanctum sanctorium, and therefore we are all advised not to carry our chappals beyond the Dhvajastambham. Before Dhvajastambham, you have to leave your footwear and you should enter with docility and vinita. That's why Kalidasa says, how do you enter temples and Rishyasramas and so on? He says, Vinita Veshena Praveshtavyani Devalayani Asramani. And so the temple going should not go with the gorgeous decorations and makeup, but you should go as simple as that, because God likes the originality, naturality, and simplicity. Therefore, we go just Vinita Veshena Praveshtavyani Tapovanani. So Tapovanas are to be rendered like that. Therefore, we just have to fix a Upasthapanam, and then we have got to do, we have to bring a selected Pashu, and we have to bring that Pashu to the Yagashala. And before that, but to Yupa is something, a wooden pillar. Normally, all Upastambhas are made up of wood and from a tree, a branch of the tree cut and then shaped. So here, anything that you are connecting yourself to the sacrificial complex, sacrificial performance items, then you have to have that kind of puja system. So you have to worship revere the tree from which you are separating the branch for the purpose of the sacrificial waste. So Yupa has got to be, the tree is respected. We have already gone through all those mantras in the first kanda, third prapataka, and the divisions are there, kandikas are there. So we have been going on with all those things, and the Yupa has been brought, and with all mantras in 1, 3, 6, we have made the Upasthapanam done magically, symbolically, religiously. Amele, we brought the Pashu, and then the other items go on from the 1, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So in this particular Prapataka, there are 14 divisions, Kandikas, and each Kandika has got a good amount of formulas, and which we have been studying. We do not go to details of this because there are great commentaries, Sayana, Bhattabhaskara, Uvata, Mahidhara. Well, these are all the great commentators who have enriched the Vedic tradition, enriched the interpretational efforts in order to find out the meaning of the mantras. Because my Veda mantra prakasha, trying to find out, explain, and illuminate what the mantras actually contain within them is itself is a divine grace. That's why there is a bhumika. And Rasayanacharya, before he commented Rigveda, he prepared a Rigveda bhumika. That itself is a wonderful text for study. And also, when the Swadhyaya Mandal Pune, Prabhakargaru was in charge of that, we remember when we were all students in Pune University doing work in the Center for Advanced Study in Sanskrit, and these Vedic publishers used to come, Veda books, Vedic text publishers used to come, and so among them we had one, we remember him, Sapre by name, and he used to come to and sit with every scholar working and try to tell them what are the books that are available connected to Vedic texts. And in that, and at that time, they were very cheap. Now these things are big. So we used to collect all those books and all. So it was a wonderful time we have had in 60s. So then 137, we have got a Pasoho Upakaranam, and 138, we have got the Upakritasya Pasoho. As the mantra has come to that. So the Pasu has got to be the agent or the sadhana to get the sampath of all prosperity, both for the gods and for the humans. Therefore, there need not be any drastic criticism about the yajna and the contents. There have been a lot of revisions, lot of changes with regard to the practices which are introduced in Vedic times. But however, the Veda is a flexible text. Because if at all mantras will remain the same, you can't change the mantra, but the mantras are there, but the vinyogas, intensity or seriousness or etc. can be had. For example, another example is, actually you have to prepare somarasa and all that. These days, the soma valli or soma leaves are extinct. We don't know. So I was told that there are some substitutes for that. So for example, for soma, people used to collect the other leaves called putika and another one. So they used to prepare drinks out of it. So these are a big subject. Every sacrifice is a big thing. That's why there are books written on the science of sacrifice, on the mysticism in sacrifice, then symbolism in sacrifice, etc. So that's a different Vedic studies, because our Vedadhyayana Kendra is not just to give the mantras, but also trying to give some kind of meaning and background and history and the greatness of the rishis who have worked hard Because Rishaya Dharma Tapobi Kamaha, as Valmiki Maharshi says, defines who are the Rishis. Rishis are always having the focus upon Dharma and Tapas. Dharma is yajna. Dharma is one's own duty, karma. So our karma, dharma, dharma karmam samachaye, karma dharmam samacharet. So that is how I think with this little introduction for this session, we will go with the text from 137. So Sivalingaya is there, I think. Have you got 136 and 137 recite ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಪ್ಪ ಶಿವಲಿಂಗಯ್ಯ?
ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಗುರುಗಳೇ.
1363 ಮಾಡು ಫಸ್ಟ್. ನೋ 2 ಇಂದ ಮಾಡಿ 1362 ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ 3ಗೆ ಒಂದೇ ಲೈನ್ ಇದೆ. ಓಂ ಗಮಧ್ಯೈ ಗಾವೋ ಯತ್ರ ಭೂರಿ ಶೃಂಗ ಅಯಾಸಃ. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಮಾಡಪ್ಪ ನೋಡೋಣ.
ಯಾವ್ದು ಗುರುಗಳೇ?
ಗಮಧ್ಯೆ ಗಾವೋ 1362. ಗಮಧ್ಯೆ ಗಾವೋ ಯತ್ರ ಭೂರಿ ಶೃಂಗ ಅಯಾಸಃ ಅತ್ರಾಹ. ಚಿಕ್ತಾ
ನೋಡ್ತೀನಿ.
ತದುರುಗಾಯಸ್ಯ ವಿಷ್ಣೋಃ ಪರಮಂ ಪದಂ.
ಗಮಧ್ಯೆ ಗಾವೋ ಯತ್ರ ಭೂರಿ ಶೃಂಗ ಆಯಾಸಃ ಅತ್ರಾಹ ತದುರ್ಗಾಯಸ್ಯ ವಿಷ್ಣೋ ಪರಮಂ ಪದಮ ಅವಭಾತಿ ಭೂರೇ. ವಿಷ್ಣು ಕರ್ಮಾಣಿ ಪಶ್ಯತ ಯತೋ ವ್ರತಾನಿ ಪಸ್ಪಶೇ. ಇಂದ್ರಸ್ಯ ಯಜ್ಞಃ ಸಖಾ ತದ್ವಿಷ್ಣೋ ಪರಮಂ ಪದಗಂ ಸದಾ ಪಶ್ಯಂತಿ ಸೂರಯಃ. ದಿವೀವ ಚಕ್ಷುರಾ ತತಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವನಿಂ ತ್ವಾ ಕ್ಷತ್ರವನಿಗಂ ಸುಪ್ರಜಾವನಿಗಂ ರಾಯಸ್ಪೋಷವನಿಂ ಪರ್ಯೋ ಆಮಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮದೃಗಂ ಕ್ಷತ್ರಂ ದೃಗಂ ಪ್ರಜಾಂ ದೃಗಂ ರಾಯಸ್ಪೋಷಂ ದೃಗಂ ಪರಿವೀರಸಿ ಪರಿತ್ವಾ ದೇವೀರ್ವಿಶೋ ವ್ಯಯಂತಾಂ ಪರಿಮಘಂ ರಾಯಸ್ಪೋಷ ಯಜಮಾನಂ ಮಾನುಷ್ಯಾಂ ಅಂತರಿಕ್ಷಸ್ಯ ತ್ವಾಂ ಸಾನವವದ್ಗೋಹಾಮಿ.
ಇದು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಸೂಪರ್ಫಿಷಿಯಲ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್. ನಾವು ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಮ್ಯಾಜಿಕಲ್ ಪವರ್ ಇದೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಅವರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಟು ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಯಜ್ಞ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್. ಲುಕ್ ಹಿಯರ್ 1361 ಎಂಟೈರ್ 6th Prabhakargaru Kendra is connected with the work of Yupa. Trying to go to the tree, separate the branch, give it all ceremonious reverence and mantras, then bring it that Yupa Shakha, Vriksha Shakha, and install it. All that will have the connection or ceremonially done, and therefore that's exactly meant for first Khanda, third Prabhakargaru, and 6th Kandika. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದರೆ ಗಮಧ್ಯೆ ಗಾವಹ ಯತ್ರ ಭೂರಿ ಶೃಂಗ ಅಯಾಸಃ. ಅಯಾಸಃ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ತರಹ ಕಷ್ಟ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುವ ಹಸುಗಳನ್ನು ಕಟ್ಟಿರುವ ಪಶುಶಾಲಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಅದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನಂದರೆ ಆ ಪಶುಗಳಿಗೆ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಶೃಂಗಗಳಿರಬೇಕು. భూరి శృంగాః. శృంగ మీన్స్ హారన్స్. సో ఆవులకు కొమ్ములు ఉండడము. కొంతమంది ఆ ఆవులకు అన్ని కొమ్ములు తీసేసిన ఆవులు ఉంటాయి. అంటే అవన్నీ బోడి ఆవులు. బోడి ఆవుల పాలకు మనకు తెలుసు, మన తెలుగులో అంటుంటారు బోడి ఆవులు పాలు, కొమ్ములు ఉన్న ఆవుల పాలు. అండ్ ఫర్ ఎవర్ రిలీజియస్ అండ్ ఆల్ పర్పసెస్ కొమ్ములు ఉండాలి. దే ఆర్ కాల్డ్ భూరి శృంగాః. ఆవులను దానం చేసేటప్పుడు ఆవుల కొమ్ములకు కూడా బంగారు తొడుగులు వేసి దానం చేస్తారు. సో సువర్ణ శృంగాః అంట. So look at this, beautiful, alva. So, we have got a lot of importance for a cow, especially the cow is a sacrificial animal. That is, it is given a lot of reverence. I know somebody has posted somewhere when the cow that was giving milk for 20 years to Ram Balaji in Tirumala, that cow disappeared and died, and so they gave a lot ceremonial burial for that. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅರ್ಥನು ಗೋಮಾತ ಗುಹಜನ್ಮ ಭೂಹು ಅಂತ ಅಂತಹ ಗೋಮಾತೆಗಳು ಅವರ ಶೃಂಗಗಳು ಇದು ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಶೃಂಗಗಳಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಅಂಥ ಸ್ಟಾಲ್ಗೆ ಗೋಷ್ಠಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಟ್ಟು ಈ ಗಾವಹ ಅಯಾಸಹ, ಸೊ ಆರೋಗ್ಯವಾಗಿರುವ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಹಸುಗಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಜಾಗಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ವೈ ಶುಡ್ ಯು ಗೋ ಟು ಯಾಗಶಾಲ? ಯಾಗಶಾಲ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು? ದಿ ಗೋಶಾಲ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ 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 ಸೀಕ್ರೆಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅತ್ರಾಹ ತತೋ ಉರುಗಾಯಸ್ಯ ವಿಷ್ಣೋ ಪರಮಂ ಪದಂ ಭೂರೇಃ ಅವಭಾತಿ. ಭೂರೇಃ ವಿಷ್ಣೋ ಪರಮಂ ಪದಂ ಅವಭಾತಿ ಉರುಗಾಯಸ್ಯ. What is in one line, the importance of Goshala is being marked in this text. What is that? See, Bhurehe Vishnu Padam. The footprint of Mahavishnu is being found in the Goshala. Avabhati. Even today, eternally, the footprint of Mahavishnu is shining forth. And who is this Mahavishnu? He is said to be Urugayaha. He has got long strides. We know the story that Vishnu, Narayana, Vamanavataram, in that Balachakravarti made a gift of 3 feet land to him, and in 1 feet he covered the entire earth, another entire sky, and 3rd foot upon the head of Balichakravarti, and pushed him down the Patal Lokam, as we see in the Puranas, the Bali Prakaranam. And Balichakravarti's family people, he is great, but later on, things are all different. But anyway, the Moola Purusha of every Vamsham is very important. Moola Purusha in the sense that he will be observing so many things. ಅದೇ ಕಾಳಿದಾಸ ಅಭಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಶಾಕುಂತಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಳ್ಳೊಳ್ಳೆ ಮಾತು ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. Dushyanta was simply worried when he looked at a boy in Bharata playing in that Marichi ashrama. He felt that he has not got a son like that. Then he said, so ಸಂಶಯಮ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಂತಿ ಪಿಂಡಭಾಜಃ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಶ್ರೀ ರಮ್ಯ ಅವರೇನು ಈ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, they will make your clothes dirty because they will be playing in the mud only, and the moment they see their parents, they saw a small child with the mud in the hand, mud in the body, etc., so that will just come and embrace you, and malina bhavanti. So with the embrace of the child they become really malinas. That's a kind of great luck for apatyam, those who have got this apatyam or the children. Therefore ikkada kuda urugayasya, so Moola Purusha is Balachakravarti, and afterwards his people are their descendants, but they are not much remembered. And but in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad we get the reference to the grandson, the son of Prahlada, son of Prahlada Maharshi. Prahlada, who is the son of Balichakravarti, in that lineage. And that's a different matter. We go to that stories. So anyway, he is called as a Urugaya. And so when there is a Vishnupada at the Goshala, it is really great. So Vishnupada, why people take dip in the rivers in India, because all rivers are supposed to have been born out of the foot or feet of ಮಹಾವಿಷ್ಣು. ಸೊ ಅವರ ಪಾದಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ನಮನ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಸಿಂಬಾಲಿಕಲಿ. And moreover, in the next line, you have got Vishnoho karmani pasyata yatha vratani vaspase yatha, because the yataha, wherein or why? Because he has given rise for karma. Karmani vratani. So karmani vratani. Karmani is the achievement and distinction that Vishnu has attained. And who is more Vishnu? We are being introduced by Yajurveda. And Indra is a very most familiar god among gods because he is the king of gods. In Chamakam, you see there are 27 times Vishnu and Indra name is being given. Indraschame, Indra. Every god next to Indrascha. So Indra is a Puruhuta, Indra is a Vruddhasravaha. So Antha Kirtiyuktanagiruva Indrana Sakha Yarappa andre Vishnu. So Indrasya Yujyaha Sakha, and Tad Vishnoho Paramam Padagam Sada Vasyanti Suraya. Suraya andre Pandits, scholars, devoted religionists. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಆ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಪಾದವನ್ನು ಸದಾ ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ವಿಷ್ಣು ಪರಮಂ ಪದಂ. It's a parama sabda being used, meaning that it is a highly sacred one. The very darshanam of Vishnu pada, ಸ್ಪರ್ಶನಂ, ದರ್ಶನಂ, ಸ್ಪರ್ಶನಂ, ಪೂಜನಂ, ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಆ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಪಾದಕ್ಕೆ ಇರೋ ಸೆರಿನಿಟಿ, ಪಯಟಿ ಈ ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿ ಸುಪ್ರೀಂ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಅಂಥ ವಿಷ್ಣು ಪಾದವನ್ನು ಈ ಯಜ್ಞಯಾಗಾದಿ ಕರ್ತಗಳು ಮಾಡುವ ಋತ್ವಿಕರು, ತಪಸ್ಸು ಜನ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದಟ್ ಪದ ಆರ್ ಫುಟ್ ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ದಿವೀವ ಚಕ್ಷುರಾದತಂ. ದಿವಿ ಚಕ್ಷುಹು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು? ಸೂರ್ಯ ಭಗವಾನ್. ಸೊ ವಿಷ್ಣು is Surya. That's why we always also talk Surya as Surya Narayana. Surya is a Narayana. Samudra is also Narayana, Samudra Narayana. And even a Vriksha, Aswatha Narayana. So wherever only a few things are there which are being elevated to the which are being equated with that of the Narayana Mahima. Therefore, illi we have got that Indrasya Yujjasakha and Divi Chakshuhu Atatam Iva. If you want to split that, so as though the Surya Bhagavan is spreading himself, Atatam, spreading himself with giving us plenitude of light and luster, Atatam Iva Vishnu. So that is the complement or description in brief about the Varnana in brief of Vishnu. Actually, in Vedas, there are not much Varnana length. Only the Kavyas have taken the role of describing things to large number of pages. But in Yajurveda, when you talk about the Kavi and Kavya in Rigveda, Kavi and Kavya in Yajurveda, Kavi and Kavya in Atharvaveda, well, books have been written on these topics. And for example, Kavi and Kavya in Atharvaveda, I think so, has been written by Dr. Sanjay Shende, published by the Bombay, I think, University or... But anyway, a copy of it I got. So anyway, although here we have seen that the fame of that Varnana, I'm talking about the description, only one or two that exactly say Bhadram in the Bhadram Karnevi Agni. Who is that? Vishwavedaha Agni. And again Pusha. And like that we have got only one complement or two complements. No more complements or description is there. So in order to give you a total idea about Vishnu, he is supposed to be the eye appearing in the sky. So Surya Bhagavan is a Pratyaksha Devata. And in him are all gods, and he is in all gods. So all gods want to identify at first with the Aditya, Aditya Samatejaha, as we see the expressions. Aditya Samatejaha means he has got that brilliance. Sarva and Aditya Varne Tapasodhijato. And in even Sri Suktam for Mahalakshmi, the compliment is that she has got the golden complexion, just like that of the complexion of the Surya Bhagavan. So that's why we see Divi Chichuhu Atatam Iva. And therefore, ಅಂಥ ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೇನು ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮವನಿತ್ವಾ ಕ್ಷತ್ರವನಿಗುಂ ಸುಪ್ರಜಾವನಿಗುಂ ರಾಯಸ್ಪೋಷವನಿಂ ಪರ್ಯೂಹಾಮಿ. ಸೊ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ, ಕ್ಷತ್ರ, ಸುಪ್ರಜ, ರಾಯಸ್ಪೋಷ. These are the four important things to be sustained, maintained, and benefits have got to be derived therefrom. ಅಂದರೆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಅಂದರೆ priesthood, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಅಂದರೆ ಪರಮಾತ್ಮ. ಸೊ ವಿಥೌಟ್ priest, no yajna, no vratam, nothing. That's why in Panchatantra, the author says, Narayana Pandita or Vishnu Sarma, no, Narayana Pandita, Vishnu Sarma says that Tatra mitra navastavyam yatra nasti chatushtayam nudata cha vaidyascha srotriyaha sajalanadi ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದರೆ Prabha, my dear friend, you don't start living, inhabiting the places where these four people are not there. Tatra mitra, oh friend, navastavyam yatra nasti chatushtayam. So runadata, those who can offer you money, lend money, Vaidya, a doctor, and Srotriyaha, a Purohit, and Sajalanadi, a river with water, not dry with us. And then Vani means winning. So something like all people say Vanita, they put it. Vanita means any and everything will be in their favor, that kind of ability and all that. Therefore, Vanita. And therefore, the prayer is Tva Brahma Drugumha Brahma Kshatram Praja Rayasposham. So these four are important. Praja is children, progeny, and Rayasposha is wealth and food. Then Kshatram is the royalty, and Brahma is the priesthood. So when these four things are well stabilized and established, then it is easy for life upon the earth. ಭೂಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನ ಸುಗಮವಾಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಪುರೋಹಿತರಿರಬೇಕು, ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ರಾಜರಿರಬೇಕು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಸಂತಾನ ಅಥವಾ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಇರಬೇಕು ಜನರು, ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕೊನೆಗೆ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ವೆಲ್ತ್ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫುಡ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಧನಂ ಧಾನ್ಯಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಪಶು ಪುತ್ರ ಲಾಭಂ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಈ ಶ್ರೀ ಸೂಕ್ತದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So dhanam dhanyam, first of all you must have that raya, and then posha is dhanyam. So rayas posham ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಧನಂ ಧಾನ್ಯಂ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದ ಅದು ಒಂದು. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀನು ದ್ರುಮ್ಹ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟೇಬಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡು, ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಂತ. ಅಂಡ್ ಅಗೈನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಅನಿಮಲ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಪರಿವೀಹಿ ಪರಿತ್ವಾ ದೈವೀಹಿ ವಿಷಃ ವ್ಯಯಂತಾಂ ಪರಿಹಿಮಂ ರಾಯಸ್ಪೋಷೋ ಯಜಮಾನಂ ಮನುಷ್ಯಾಃ ಅಂತರಿಕ್ಷಸ್ಯತ್ವಾ ಸಾನಾವವ ಗುಹಾಮಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಗಾಲ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ತನ್ನ ಇದನ್ನೇ ನಮ್ಮ ತೈತ್ರಿಯ ಉಪನಿಷತ್ತಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಏನಂತ? ತನ್ನಮ ಇತ್ಯುಪಾಸೀತ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಾವಾನ್ ಭವತಿ ಅಂತ. ಯಾವುದು ನೋಡಿದರೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಪೂರ್ವಕವಾಗಿ, ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ ವಿನಯಂ, docility, and then if you giving up your ego, and if you approach people for any sahayam, or anything, then you will be getting all that. So that's why, oh, you are a Parivihi, and you are Deva, Devi Vishaha, Veyantam Parimagum. So, Ninu Itara idea, ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ದೈವಿ ವಿಷಃ ಅಂದರೆ ಗಾಡ್ಸ್. ವಿಷಃ ಶಬ್ದನಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು ಅಂದರೆ ಪ್ರಜలు. ಸೊ ದೇವತಾ ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳು, ಮನುಷ್ಯ ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳು, ಕಿನ್ನರ ಪ್ರಜೆಗಳು. ದಟ್ ಪ್ರಜ ಶಬ್ದ ಈಸ್ ದೇರಿನ. ಸೊ ದೈವಿ ವಿಷಃ ಅನ್ನುವಾಗ ವಿಷಾಂಪತಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಕಿಂಗ್. Vishampati is the Raja. Visha andre people. So this is the word. So Daivir Visha means divine people. So our society consists of human, divine, religious, philosophical, and actually those who are having the divine sense in them, behavior in them, and they are all called highly with all respect. In Varuna Prashna also, we have got that idea. So Devaha Garagiraha, Devascha Mahadeva, Devaha Garagiraha, Vaidjito Hinasti. So only Devaha Garagiraha, they are all Satyavak. And therefore, they are always kept for worship and honor, and then addressed to get some kind of benefit from them all. So then again you are Antarikshasyattva Sanava Ava Guhami. Then you are telling the Pashu, you are the Nava. Nava means the boat. What is the importance of boat? That you will be comfortable in the water flow or water or in the rivers and oceans and everywhere. Because of boat, you make it afloat. So there is a lot of science in boat making also. Nava Nirmana. For example, they say there is one Archimedes principle. If you just put a lump of iron piece, what happens? It will sink. Immediately it will go down. The same lump of iron, if you shape it into the shape of a fish or ship that way, and then it will float on the ground, on the waters. See, that is the mechanism that science has been given to us. And the idea of navigation is not today. It was there very much in Rigveda and onwards. Veda ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ navigation, boat preparing, boat manufacturing, boat factories, etc., all that there. So now the technology has grown so much that we have got submarines. Somebody has put that a submarine is being designed to carry about 20 people down the Yamuna River and make them touch the building, touch the ground of the Yamuna River. On one hand, also the Dwaraka is submerged, and you can still see the Dwaraka city buildings merged and submerged in the river, in the waters. And what kind of civilization, organization, and architectural arrangements were there. All that is somebody has posted in the Yajurveda group, that Shyama or so. So that's really informative, because there the buildings themselves are important. And similarly, one is there on Ayodhya. Ayodhya is personified and he speaks to people. So they're all preparing just to impress upon us that there is that kind of transportational facility to reach up the heights, to reach up the gods, to bring them also home, and then that kind of interaction. You remember our kings also in earlier days, they were all interloka travelers. ಈಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ international travelers, international. So many countries are able to go because of the highest development of technology and development. So people are now crossing the oceans or what not is happening. They are even going up to heaven, up to the moonland or Mars planet or moon planet and so on. But ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, for all these things, what is the medium? Aircraft. The craft is the design. Aircraft we have got, and we have got the motor vehicles, and even that motorization of Navas are also there upon the water going. So ಈ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೇನು ಆಶ್ಚರ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ earlier our ancient Vedic people have had contrivances through which they were able to reach up heights and get themselves connected. So ಅದರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸಾ ನಾವ ಅವ ಇವ, ಸೊ ನಾವೇವ ಅನ್ನುವಾಗ, ಸೊ ನಾವ ಬೇಕು, ನಾವು ಸಮುದ್ರ ದಾಟಬೇಕು ಆರ್ ರಿವರ್ ದಾಟಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಬೇಕು ನಾವ. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಈ ಯಜ್ಞ ಪಶು ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ವಿಚ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೆಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ರಾಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಡಿಡ್ ರಿವರೆನ್ಸ್ and which they are going to, whose parts they are going to offer to respective gods. And before that parts are being reaching the gods, there is the prayer. How do they reach? So what part must go with join the other god, so that there will be a kind of communication, messaging and envoyship, linking the godhead and manhood or manhead. So man and God, and man is the representative upon the earth to include any and everything. Oshadhi vanaspatayaha pachyantam nikame parjanyo varshato yogatshemo naha kalpe. So, well, this kind of statements which we are reciting, they are all the indications that you have to have all types of energy, health, food, comfort, and sources, everything from heaven. In Aruna Prashna again, we have got the beautiful Siddhurbhiksham deva lokesho manuna mudakam gruhe yeta vacha pravadanti anta ide. And then, after rainy season, if you look at the sky, it will be clear, no water. Durbhiksham devalokeshu, in all devalokas, there won't be availability of water at all. If you go to a god's house in heaven, please give me water, he says, sorry, all the water here has been given away to Bhulokam. And where is that water? And all that water has been stocked in the houses of the human beings, Manushya. So Durbhiksham deva lokeshu manunam gruhe udakam. So manunam udake gruham andre arthavagatalla. So this availability only in the manus. So antarikshasyatva so min sa naveva grunuhami. And amele you have why all this kind of nava, why at all you bring the animal, why you are making it as a representative ambassador for linking the comfort upon the land. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದರೆ ಆ ಕಾಲದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಜ್ಞೇನ ಯಜ್ಞಮಯಜಂತ ದೇವಾಹ, ಅಂಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಯಜ್ಞಾತ್ ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯೋ ವರ್ಷತಿ ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯೇನ ಔಷಧಿ ವನಸ್ಪತಯಃ ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯೇನ ಅನ್ನಾತ್ ಪುರುಷಃ ಅನ್ನಾದ್ಧಿ ವೈಖಲ್ವಿಮಾನಿ ಭೂತಾನಿ ಚಾಯಂತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ತರಹ ಅನ್ನ ಸೂಕ್ತಗಳು, ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯ ಸೂಕ್ತಗಳು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಮಳೆ ಬರಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಮೇಕ್ ಎ ಪ್ರೇಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯ. ಸೊ ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯ, ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಪರ್ಜನ್ಯ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವರುಣದೇವ. ಇಮಮ್ಮೇ ವರುಣ ಶ್ರುತಿ ಹವಾ ಮಧ್ಯ ಚ ಮೃಡಯ ತ್ವಾಮವಶುರಾಚಕೆ ತತ್ವಾಯಾಮಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣ ವಂದಮಾನಃ ತದಾಶಾಸ್ತಿ ಯಜಮಾನೋ ಗೃ. So Yajamana is asking, is hoping to get water from you. And in the areas where there is prayers are done towards him. So itaraha namge, see, Yajurveda Adhyayana does not mean independent. Yajurveda Adhyayana is interdependent with other Vedic texts too. And therefore, Veda mantragalanu interpret ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ it requires a good deal of scholarship, a good deal of effort, a good deal of research. In fact, I remember at one time, our Center for Advanced Studies in Sanskrit, Pune University, conducted a seminar for 3 days on the interpretation of the Vedic texts or Veda mantras. interpret, and also the techniques for interpretation of the Vedic mantras. Idella 3 divasa wonderful scholars have come. Unfortunately, at that time, there was not this kind of YouTube recording, adu ಹೆಚ್ಚು prominent ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. But scholars used to come, they make some presentation and all that. So in that, I remember I was also one delegate presenting the paper on the technology or the technique through which you are able to interpret the Veda mantras as revealed from the Satabada Brahmana. Because all Brahmana texts not only explain the Veda mantras, but also they give you the methodology, the technique through which you are able to interpret. For example, Dadhikrano Akarisham Jishno Raswasya Vajinah Surabhino Mukhakaratu is a mantra from Rigveda. And in Rigveda, this mantra occurs four places. You can imagine the emphasis, but each place, the application will be different. The same thing has been adopted here also. But why that is so much important is Dadhikrano ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಜುರ್ವೇದದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಶ್ವಮೇಧ ಯಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Whole language ಮಾಡಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಯಿ, ನಮ್ಮ mouth should be sanctified, and so that you can continue to utter the Veda mantras which are very sacred. So ಕುಡಿದು ಸಿಗರೆಟ್ ಸೀತಾ ವೇದ ಮಂತ್ರಗಳು ಹೇಳಬಾರ್ದು, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್. ಸೊ ಕಾಳಿದಾಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಮಾಲವಿಕದಲ್ಲಿ, interesting thing, a joke also you can take it. See that a Cheli comes to that Vidushaka who is supposed to be a Brahmana born, but he is a Brahmana Bruva anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. For the sake of birth, he is born a Brahmin, but he never learnt anything. But Gayatri Mantra may be that. So when he was asked by that Chelikatya or servant, ಹೇಳು ಅಂದರೆ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನೀನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ತುಂಬ ದೋಷ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ನಾನು ಈಗಲೇ ಕುಡಿದು ಬಂದಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಂತ್ರಗಳಿಗೆ ವಾಸನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದರು. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಗಂಧಂ. So that is the kind of discipline in those days, that whenever you want to utter a Veda mantra, there is some kind of discipline to be followed ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ್ರ ಇಶೇತ್ವಾ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಮಂತ್ರ ಓದಪ್ಪ ಶಿವಲಿಂಗಯ್ಯ, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ಲಿ ರೀಡ್. ಇಶೇತ್ವಾ
ಪವೀರುಸ್ಯುಭೋ ದೇವಾನ್ ದೈವೀರ್ವಿಷ ಪ್ರಾಗುರ್ವನ್ನಿ ಋಷಿಜೋ ಬೃಹಸ್ಪತೆ ಧಾರಯ ವಸೂನಿ ಅವ್ಯಾತೆ ಸ್ವಧಂತಾಂ ದೇವತ್ವಸ್ತರ್ವಸುರಣ್ವ ರೇವತಿ ರಮಧ್ವಮಗ್ನೇ ಜನಿತ್ರಮಸಿ ವೃಷಣೋಸ್ತ ಪೂರ್ವಸ್ಯ ಸ್ಯಾಯುರಸಿ ಪುರೋರವಾಗೃತೇನಾಗ್ಧೇ ವೃಷಣಂ ದದಾತಾಂ ಗಾಯತ್ರಂ ಛಂದೋ ಅನುತ್ ಪ್ರಜಾಯಸ್ವ ತ್ರೈಷ್ಟುಭಂ ಜಾಗತಂ ಛಂದೋ ಅನು ಪ್ರಜಾಯಸ್ವ ಭವಂತಂ
ಭವತಂ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್
ಭವತಂ
2372 ಓದ್ಬೇಡಿ.
ಪ್ರಜಾಯಸ್ವ ಭವತಂ
ನಹ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಓದ್ಬೇಡಿ, 3 ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ.
ಸಮನಸೋ ಸಮೋಕಸಾವ ರೇಪಸೋ ಮಾ ಯಜ್ಞಘುಂ ಇಘುಂ ಸಿಷ್ಟಂ ಮಾ ಯಜ್ಞಪತಿಂ ಜಾತವೇದಸೋ ಶಿವೋ ಭವತಮಧ್ಯನಃ ಅಗ್ನಾವಗ್ನಿಶ್ಚರತೆ ಪ್ರವಿಷ್ಟ ಋಷೀಣಾಂ ಪುತ್ರೋ ಅಧಿರಾಜ ಏಷಃ ಸ್ವಾಹಾ ಕೃತಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಣಾ ತೇ ಜುಹೋಮಿ ಮಾ ದೇವಾನಾಂ ಮಿತುಯಾ ಕರ್ಭಾಗದೇಯಂ
ಆದದೆ. ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಎರಡು ಖಂಡಿಕೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ವಿ ಆರ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಡ್ರೆಸ್ಸಿಂಗ್ 137 ಈಸ್ ಪಶೋಪಕರಣಂ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪಶೋಪಕರಣಂ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಪಶು ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಎ ಡೈಟಿ. ನಾನು ಐ ಬಿನ್ ಟೆಲ್ಲಿಂಗ್, ಯಾವ ಸ್ತೂಯತೆ ಸಾವೈ ದೇವತಾ ಅಂತ ಯಾವುದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಗೌರವದಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತೀರೋ ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಲಿಟಿಕ್ ದೇವತಾ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಅತಿಥಿ ಪೂಜಾ. See, Atithi worship is important. In fact, all yajnas, the underlying principle in all yajnas is Atithi Puja, Atithi Seva, Atithyam antare. Ee Atithyam anodu nama Indian culture, where anybody comes to your house, you should give them water, you should give them drink, you should give them food, and you should. So ella ee taraha ide. But this is opposite of that you find in Western countries. You see, you can meet people only on appointment. And when you go to their house, they will not offer anything at all to you. You just talk and finish the business. It's not business transaction. There is no humanism much observed at other countries. But in India, everybody who visits the house is very important. And his atithi, he brings punyam to the house, and he leaves punyam to the inmates of the house, and he becomes happier and takes better. That's how we got atithi. And we have got that Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava, Atithi Devo Bhava, like that. So Atithi worship is important, and so the Yajna Pasu is being requested. What are you to give to us? You are now very important. You are reaching the gods, and we are sending you there bit by bit. And so, what for? Ishetva upavihi asi upa devan de devihi vishaha pragurvan heru usijaha bruhaspate dharaya vasuni havyate sudantam deva tvashtar vasuranva रेवतीरमध्वम् अग्ने जनित्रमसि वृषणौस्तः पूर्वस्य आयुरसि पुरूरवाः घृतेनाक्तं वृषणौ दधाथाम् गायत्रं छन्दो अनुप्रजायस्व प्रैष्टुभं जागतं छन्दो अनुप्रजायस्व भवतम्. So anything you want to use it, you have to also address that particular article according to our Yajurvedic, sacrificial discipline, that you should educate. Why at all you are being invited? Bunny sir, Nodi, ಈ ಥರ ಕೆಲಸ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾರ್ಮಲಿ ಈ ಮ್ಯಾರೇಜ್ ಇನ್ವಿಟೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಕುಟುಂಬ ಸಪರಿವಾರವಾಗಿ ಬಂದು ನಾವು ಕೊಡುವ ತಾಂಬೂಲವನ್ನು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸಿ ವಧೂವರನ ಆಶೀರ್ವದಿಸಿ ಅಂತ ಆ ಲೈನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ವಿಟೇಷನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಸಕುಟುಂಬ ಸಪರಿವಾರ ಸಮೇತವಾಗಿ ಬನ್ನಿ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದವನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಅಂತ. ಅದು ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ಪರ್ಪಸ್. ವೈ ಅಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಇನ್ವೈಟಿಂಗ್ XYZ ಅಂದರೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಅವರ ಕುಟುಂಬದಲ್ಲವರ ಬಂದು ಕೊಡೋ ತಾಂಬೂಲ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಶಿಪ್. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಶಿಪ್. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ತಗೊಂಡು ಆಮೇಲೆ ವಧೂವರನ್ನು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದಿರೋರೆಲ್ಲರನ್ನು ಆಶೀರ್ವಾದ ಮಾಡಿ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಊಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗಿ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ವೈ ವಿ ವಾಂಟ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಟು ಕಮ್ ಟು ಅಸ್. ಅದರಿಂದ the same thing you are observing in this particular Kandika, where the Pasu, when it is brought forth there, is being addressed that you be now divine. You are a divine person, and divine persons have got the Mahima with them. Mahimanam apnoti. ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಮಹಿಮವಂತರಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಮಹಿಮೆಯಿಂದ ಅವರು ಯಜಮಾನರಿಗೆ ಲೋಕಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು ಗುಣ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. And in between we have also got the inclusion of the deities like Bruhaspati, then we have got Devas Tvashta and Revati, Agni and Pururavas and Urvasi, and then the Chandas, the tool, Gayatram and all that. So in this kind, with this kind of setup, we are able to inform the Yajna Pasu what we are doing about. So this and next expressions, we will be able to note something as a part of procedure to Upakaranam, Pasu Upakaranam, and Upakritya Pasu. And so what further, because Pasu is important agent to bring happiness and culture and all that from gods to the earth or people living upon the earth. I think we stop here. Next we continue. Om Swasti.
Om Sahanavavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahabhijyankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastama Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyanta Markaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sarvam Shri Krishnarpanamasta Shri Vasudevarpanamasta Shri Veda Purusha Shirvadosta Om Shri Matra Charanaravindarpanamasta Om Tat Sat Hari Om Namaste.
Good. Thank you, Govind, for at least attending and some kind of knowledge for us.